Hello there, fellow kids. As you can see, I am incredibly #relatable, which means everything I'm about to tell you is super rad and should be incorporated into your life immediately. So let's talk about research. It's not always something that's being forced upon you by your annoying teachers. You'll use research skills in all kinds of settings, including your personal life. So let me help you out, fam. I'm going to show you a lit way to take notes and keep track of your sources. Now, we millennials are always battling our parents. They just don't understand. My parents keep complaining about all the time I spend on video games, and they're threatening to limit me to 1 hour a day. 1 hour. I can't complete my weekly challenges in 1 hour. I need to gather evidence to prove them wrong. I found this book in the library when I was pretending to pick a new book to get out of guided study. When I read the table of contents in the introduction, it seemed like it'll have information I can use. I need to record where I got my information, in case my parents come back at me with annoying things like, how do you know, and prove it. Since this is my first source, I'm going to call it source A. So there's this super specific set of rules about information to include when you're citing a source. I'm showing you MLA 8, but adults in all their wisdom also have formats like Chicago and APA. That'll be important in a little bit. For now, here's what I need. Author or editor name, followed by a period. A title that's underlined followed by a period. Then the place of publication, a colon, the publisher, a comma, and the date published, followed by a period. Simple stuff, that's a source card. But here's the thing. I like to be efficient. Some might even say lazy. So I'm going to show you a faster way. And the faster way is easybib.com. You could use the add-on for Google Docs, but I find it to be glitchy, so I'm going straight to the site. Now, recently they've had this whole situation. You just want to create citations, so skip through that. We are not doing a website right now. That'll be later, so we'll select book. The ISBN number is the best way to do this because it gives you the most accurate information right away. But you can also search by the book's title. Cool Careers Without College for People Who Love Gaming. When I click go, this is what happens. It'll give you a couple options if it's not sure. This seems to match all of the information. There's no other option, so I'll click Cite. It shows what information it has found, and I will click Continue. Now, here you could select the whole book because you're using pieces of the whole book. If you end up using only a certain section, say it was an encyclopedia, that's where you'd change this information. Otherwise, looks good. That takes me to this page, and you have to hunt a little bit to find your citation. Scroll down to this area where it says citation list, and we're looking right here. This is your official citation. You would then take that information and write it down on your note card. Easy peasy. So now that I've got my source card, all the information filled out and labeled, I need to gather the information that will support my cause. So back to the handy dandy book. I got this whole thing that I could read word for word. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm gonna use these handy dandy tools, the table of contents, the index, and headings. Skimming the headings, I found a page I could use. Making money. They can't argue with that, right? So looking at the page, there's a couple different ways I can record this information. I could quote, I could summarize, or I could paraphrase. This is what your note card template looks like. We'll write a topic in the top left corner, the source we got it from in the right, and then whatever notes we're taking in bullet points in the center, as well as a page number in case we need to refer back to it. Let's talk about quotes first. A quote is word for word from the text with quotation marks around it. I found this quote. Professionals can make 6 figures from their winnings alone, not including salaries from teams or sponsors. I chose to quote this information, even though I could have paraphrased it. To paraphrase means to take the information and put it in your own words. It's different than summarizing, because summarizing means taking a larger amount of text and compressing it down into a smaller amount of text. If I paraphrase this quote, It would be something like professionals get salaries with 6 figures in winnings on top of it. The second note here is paraphrased from the text. Rather than writing, "The attention the growing popularity is giving the emerging entertainment is only getting bigger," I can write, "It's growing as an industry and there will be more jobs." Make sure you use quotation marks in your notes so that you don't forget what is a quote and what is paraphrased. If you use someone else's exact words without giving them credit, it's plagiarism, and we've all heard the teachers get salty about that. Notice that the topic I have up here, professional gaming, topics are a way to keep your information organized. Any other notes from other books or websites that have information about professional gaming will have the same topic up here. I could make more note cards from this book about different topics, but for now, I'm going to head over to the internets. Here we are, fellow kids, the World Wide Web. Now, depending on what information you're looking for, the internet gives you access to the most current and relevant information, if you can sort through the fake news. I used the CRAP guidelines to make sure that this site was valid. Since this is my second source, I will be labeling this source card Source B, and in order to cite it, I'll use EasyBib. I'll select the address, copy it, hop over to EasyBib. Now this one's not a book, so I need to switch from book to website. It says here I can cite the website by entering its URL, so all I need to do is paste. When I click cite, it will hunt for that information. I'll double check that this is the article I'm looking for and click cite. Now it could find these pieces of information, but it's not so sure about these pieces of information, so we will need to go back into the website to help EasyBib out. Websites tend to need this from us. For example, it didn't find the name of the author, which is right here at the top, Peter Gray. So we'll enter that information. And it also couldn't figure out when this was electronically published, also right here at the top, March 27th, 2018. So the day, the month, and the year. Then we click complete citation. Like last time, we'll scroll down to our citation list, and there it is. You'll notice it has the entire URL. You do need to write down the whole URL on the source card. One time, you will survive. It will be okay. So there you have it. I have a source card with the correct citation, labeled source card A. Then over on my note card, we've used quotes and paraphrased information from source A. So there's an A in the upper right corner. Using this system, you now have a super fire way to organize the information you've gathered while making sure you give a shout out to your sources. With these skills, you will be able to dab on the haters. In all your disputes, your opponents will be taking L's. Aren't you glad you now have this skill set? Organizing research is now magically simple. Follow this system, and Llama Cadabra, you'll have the most convincing and well-supported arguments.